Thanksgiving, everyone. Retired at 40 here. I love this time of year. There's an abundance of food, but there's also an abundance of leftovers. But this year we're not going to let that happen. We're going to freeze dry our entire Thanksgiving dinner. We've got a whole plate of turkey, cornbread stuffing, homemade pumpkin pie, and some cranberry sauce to go in there. I've been waiting a long time to do this, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. So let's go to the freeze dryer. So I'm really not sure what to expect with this, and I really don't know what to put in for the drying and freezing time. So usually when I'm unsure about something, I go with the food that has the most moisture content, which in this case would probably be the cranberry sauce. Okay, since that pumpkin pie is pretty thick and the cranberry sauce is pretty moist, I think I'm going to do 12 hours on the freeze time. And 10 hours on the final dry. Alright, I'll see you guys when this is all done. Alright, happy Thanksgiving again. So now about 34 hours and 14 minutes. Let's see how everything looks here. Turkey all seems real dry and done. I like to take the thickest pieces that I can find and make sure that they're dry, because if those are dry, everything else is going to be dry. Stuffing is all good and dry. Pumpkin pie seems all dry, and interesting on the cranberry sauce. Got kind of this big foam bubble here. This seems a little gooey still, so I could probably, you can see that it's not dry. Probably go in a little bit longer, I would say. I'm going to throw this tray back in. So in the meantime, I'm going to throw the turkey into a Mylar bag, fresh oxygen packet. Alright, everything's had a few more hours now. Stuffing was done before, but it's similar to the way it would be, I guess, before you cook it, but it's a lot more dry, a lot more crumbly. And I don't know what it is about freeze drying, but to me, stuff always seems to have more flavor than when you put it in. So I don't know what it is. When you take the moisture out of it, it just seems like the flavor is a lot more intense. Pumpkin pie. It's all solid and crumbly. Haven't tried it yet. Kind of eager to try that. It was good before. I'm sure it's really good now. But yeah, just really interesting. It's hard and dry all the way through, and same with the cranberry sauce. I'll meet you upstairs and we'll throw some water on this and see how everything reconstitutes, see if it comes out the way that it was when it was in Thanksgiving. Alright, we're back upstairs. We got our turkey, pumpkin pie, stuffing, cranberry sauce. And I've noticed that just overnight the cranberry sauce got a little bit gooey again. So I don't know if it really freeze dries that well, to be honest, because if it's been in for close to 40 hours, it should be a lot drier than this. I think it's just the texture of it that it just doesn't allow it to to freeze dry. Texture is real interesting. It reminds me of a fruit roll-up. I'll give you a close-up here of what it looks like, but it's real mushy. Reminds you a lot of a fruit roll-up. Tastes like a fruit roll-up too, actually. So I'm going to grab some plates and some hot water and we'll get this stuff all reconstituted. We'll see how well it actually comes back to life. Oh, it's Thanksgiving dinner again, except for freeze-dried. One little side note I did want to mention that when you freeze-dry things, certain things get really brittle, particularly meats. They tend to get really brittle and they'll break apart where the grain is. So if you want to keep them in big chunks, then you kind of have to be a little bit delicate with them while you're handling them before you package them or whatever. Otherwise, I mean, you can just take them and just completely turn them into almost dust if you wanted to. But yeah, if you want to keep big chunks, then just kind of be careful with them. I just want to kind of show you what the pumpkin pie is like before we rehydrate it. It's almost like a graham cracker, sort of. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to try it because it's just been killing me. It's really crunchy. And if you can kind of see the texture of it, really interesting. Alright, so we'll do the pumpkin pie first, and when you're reconstituting stuff, it's tough to get things to reconstitute without getting soggy if they have kind of a bread texture. So I'm going to just pour a little bit of water on at a time, and I'm just going to let them sit with a paper towel over them. We'll try the stuffing next here. Stuffing I wouldn't think would take very long to get back to the way it was. Once again though, probably get real soggy pretty easy. Okay, and next we'll do the turkey. And this is a Traeger turkey. You can check out a video that I have on that. It's basically a smoked turkey. Really, really good recipe. Last but certainly not least, this cranberry sauce. Kind of interesting, you can hear it crackle. Alright, we're going to let this stuff sit for about 20 minutes and we will see if it takes in some moisture and we can get it back to normal Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, so it's been about 20 minutes. Let's go see how the food's doing. Alright, super cool. I think everything is pretty much just about back to normal. The stuffing right here, it looks exactly the same as when we put it in. Tastes good. Pumpkin pie, it is getting softer. It's still pretty hard, but it's hard to know how much is too much water. I would probably put a little bit more on, but this crust is going to get real soggy here pretty soon. So I'm going to say that the pumpkin pie doesn't really reconstitute very well without it getting soggy. So I took a bite of the pumpkin pie and I figured out what it tastes like and what it looks like. It looks like Golden Graham cereal, and it tastes like Golden Graham cereal. It's got that kind of graham texture to it. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's very interesting. Doesn't reconstitute very well, but the if you want to eat it freeze-dried, it gives you a new twist on it, I guess. Cranberry sauce looks a little different, and that texture is still just real jelly-like. I don't know that it's going to reconstitute very well, honestly. I've got to say though, I like the taste and the texture better when it's freeze-dried than when it's out of the can, or when you make it. To me, it's kind of gross when you get it out of the can. Turkey looks great. Everything seems like meat always reconstitutes really well. Man, it tastes awesome. Make sure you check out my Traeger recipe on that. Well, it looks like the experiment went pretty well. It's about 50-50. The turkey and the stuffing were really good. Pumpkin pie and the cranberry sauce, nah, not so much. This is Retired at 40 signing off. Remember to live life simple. We'll catch you next time.